Line of succession, they have to be born by Meghan Markle. It has to be Prince Harry's child. They can't use a surrogate. And so people are saying, we deserve to know if these children are in the line of succession.
So are you saying that he's 2 weeks older? And so I thought maybe that would allow time to wean the baby away from a birth mother if a surrogate was used. It would make sense. But instead of lying to the world, why not just say, we want a baby, we're having a baby, and we're using a surrogate.
Prince Harry actually writes about the stance in Spare, but I don't think he ever addresses the rumors of whether Archie and Lily were born, came from Meghan Markle's womb.
You are not ready for this one. A woman has just come forward with a claim so wild, so explosive, it could flip the royal narrative upside down. And we're not talking gossip, we're talking full-on biological bombshell. She's not claiming to be some secret surrogate number. She says she's the actual mother of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2 kids, Archie and Lilibet. Her eggs, her body, her births. And before we go any deeper, real quick, if you're into jaw-dropping stories like this, hit that subscribe button and help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. It really means the world to us. Now, who is this woman? And why is she stepping out with this now? This isn't some background assistant or hush-hush hired surrogate who's had a change of heart. She's standing tall, saying those are her children, and if true, that would mean Meghan Markle isn't the biological mother of either child. Let that sink in. Why hasn't this exploded across headlines yet? Why the silence from the palace? From Meghan and Harry? Are they hiding something? Or is this just the most calculated clout chase we've seen in a while?
Line of succession, they have to be born by Meghan Markle. It has to be Prince Harry's child. They can't use a surrogate. And so people are saying, we deserve to know if these children are in the line of succession.
And before you brush this off as some wild tabloid stunt, hold up. Because this woman, she's not just talking, she's backing it up. She's dropping names, she's showing receipts. We're talking signed NDAs, hospital records, bank transactions, actual paper trails that suggest something way deeper than internet rumor. Good. She's staying anonymous for now, only going by DL. But the way she's moving, this isn't your typical fame-hungry whistleblower. She's calculated, calm, and dead serious. And if DL is even half right, this isn't just some scandal. This is the biggest royal cover-up since Diana, maybe even bigger. Why isn't the world screaming about this yet? And what does it say if this all turns out to be true? Because if the royal fairy tale was built on someone else's womb and someone else's DNA, the entire story changes.
So are you saying that he's 2 weeks older? And so I thought maybe that would allow time to wean the baby away from a birth mother if a surrogate was used. It would make sense. But instead of lying to the world, why not just say, we want a baby, we're having a baby, and we're using a surrogate.
And let's be clear, this isn't just another Hollywood headline or messy celeb drama. No, this goes way deeper. This strikes at the core of the British monarchy. Because if what DL is claiming is true, that Meghan Markle never actually gave birth to Archie and Lilibet, then we're not just talking about a scandal, we're talking about a constitutional crisis. Royal bloodlines aren't just symbolic, they're sacred. The monarchy guards lineage like it's life or death, titles, inheritance, the throne itself. All of it depends on birth legitimacy. Oh, so if Meghan didn't carry those children, if DL can prove she did, then everything, and we mean everything, gets thrown into question. Royal titles, legal standing, the line of succession. It's not just personal, it's historical. Imagine the fallout.
Prince Harry actually writes about the stance in Spare, but I don't think he ever addresses the rumors of whether Archie and Lily were born, came from Meghan Markle's womb.
You are not going to believe this. A woman has just come forward claiming she's not a surrogate, not an assistant, not part of some behind-the-scenes arrangement, but the biological mother of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. Let that sink in. She says those are her kids, her eggs, her body, her births. And before we dive any deeper, hey, real quick, if you're into stories that blow the lid off everything, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help us hit our first 1,000 subscribers. We seriously appreciate every single one of you. Now, this woman isn't some clout chaser screaming for attention. She's got documents. We're talking signed NDAs, hospital admission forms, bank transactions, digital trails, you name it. She's going by DL for now, but she's not hiding forever. If what she's saying is even remotely true, this isn't just scandalous. This is earthquake level for the British royal family. Because this isn't just about two kids. This is about royal legitimacy, the very foundation the monarchy stands on. Lineage is everything in the royal world. It's not tradition, it's the system. And DL says Meghan never gave birth, that she did, and she can prove it. So what happens to those royal titles? To Archie and Lilibet's places in the line of succession? Because if they weren't born of Meghan, and this wasn't legally disclosed, we're talking about a constitutional mess of epic proportions. Now here's where it gets even uglier. DL says she was promised privacy and compensation. Standard for an arrangement like this, right? But she claims she got neither. According to her, the Sussex team ghosted her. No payment, no contact, just wiped her clean from the story like she never existed. She trusted the process. She stayed quiet. She followed the rules. And in return, she got erased. No credit, no acknowledgement, not even a whisper of thanks. And now, she's done staying silent. She's ready to go public with everything. NDAs dated back to 2018. Hospital records from Colorado. Emails and texts connecting her to Meghan and Harry's own people. Even photos inside the hospital during what she says was Archie's birth. And the second those receipts drop, this goes from conspiracy theory to verified truth. For years, whispers of fake pregnancies and weird baby bumps were brushed off as nonsense. People laughed at videos where Meghan's stomach looked like it folded strangely. They blamed camera angles, fabric, stretchy dresses. But now, people are revisiting those moments, rewatching them, questioning everything. Because these rumors, they're not new. They started right after Archie was born. No hospital photo op, confusing public announcements. Odd secrecy at every turn. People thought Meghan was just being private. But what if that wasn't privacy? What if that was a cover-up? DL's story flips everything. This wasn't about keeping their children safe. This was about curating a lie. And Harry, he's not looking so innocent either. For years, the public saw him as the emotionally wounded prince, the man trying to protect his wife and kids from the same trauma that wrecked his mother. But now, insiders are suggesting something different. What if Harry wasn't just supporting Meghan? What if he was helping stage the entire thing? What if he rubbed that baby bump for the cameras knowing it wasn't real? Because if he was in on it, if he helped sell the illusion, then this isn't just Meghan's lie. It's his, too. And the fallout, it doesn't stop at the Sussexes. It hits Buckingham Palace hard. Because if no legal surrogacy was declared and the kids aren't biologically Meghan's, that's not just shady. That's a royal crisis. The monarchy's rules about succession, titles, and legal recognition are strict and very real. Any attempt to bypass them, especially secretly, is a legal and constitutional nightmare. And the palace? Total silence. Nothing from Harry, nothing from Meghan, nothing from the crown. Just eerie, calculated quiet, which only makes this look worse. DL isn't vague. She's naming specific clinics. Talking about intermediaries from California. Showing emails, contracts, and hospital timestamps. She says she was recruited to carry the children, but stay completely out of the picture. No name on the birth certificates, no legal tie to the babies. All for one reason: optics. And the Sussexes? They've built an entire brand on carefully staged optics. The Oprah interview, the black and white photos, the speeches about authenticity and freedom. But if DL's telling the truth, that whole image, it's a carefully built fiction. And it's not just fans who are shaken. Insiders, royal advisors, lawyers, even constitutional experts are reportedly scrambling behind the scenes. Because if these kids don't meet legal requirements under British law, they could lose their titles, their status, even their royal recognition. And remember that weird birth certificate drama? The one where Meghan's full name was suddenly removed from Archie's certificate, replaced with just her royal title? People said it was a formatting thing. But what if it wasn't? What if that move was to legally distance her from the birth altogether? Now, it's looking a lot less like a formatting quirk and a lot more like a calculated legal maneuver. And Harry? Insiders say he's unraveling. Sleepless nights, paranoia, fights behind closed doors. He's reportedly watching the media like a hawk, obsessed, nervous, on edge. And Meghan? Nowhere to be found. She's gone full ghost, no public appearances, no comments, not a single post. And Meghan's sudden disappearance? For someone who's made a career out of being in control of the narrative, from curated interviews to staged photos, this kind of silence is starting to feel less like strategy and more like surrender. Some insiders say she's laying low to avoid legal heat. Others think she's regrouping, carefully planning her next PR move. But let's be real, when you go this quiet during this kind of storm, you're not strategizing. You're hiding. Behind the scenes, royal lawyers are reportedly scrambling, not just to draft public responses, but to prepare for full-blown disaster control. Because what happens if DL takes this to court? What if investigative journalists confirm even part of her story? This wouldn't be a typical palace scandal, this would be unprecedented. If it's proven that Archie and Lilibet were born via surrogacy without formal disclosure, the monarchy enters a legal gray zone it's never had to confront. Suddenly, everything is on the table: titles, succession rights, even taxpayer-funded royal benefits. And among royal traditionalists, this wouldn't just be frowned upon. It would be seen as a betrayal, a break from the very thing that justifies the crown's existence: legitimate lineage. Because royal bloodlines aren't just symbolic. They're the reason millions still bow, still pay, still care. If that foundation turns out to be fiction, it's not just a scandal, it's a crisis of national identity. Legal experts are already whispering, will Parliament be forced to step in? Do the laws around succession need to change for a world of IVF, surrogacy, and NDAs? The media? Smelling blood in the water. Every day, a new leak, a new headline. Clips are being reanalyzed frame by frame. That iconic Oprah interview Harry and Meghan hand in hand talking about motherhood and betrayal? People are watching it again, this time with a magnifying glass. Were they acting? Were those tears real or rehearsed? And as the public rethinks everything, Hollywood is pulling back. The same voices that once defended Meghan and Harry? Now they're quiet. Agents, producers, activists. They're worried they might have been part of something false. Because if Meghan and Harry ran this operation in secret and involved others in keeping it quiet, that's not just deception. That could be a liability. And let's not forget the human cost. Harry, once the cheeky, rebellious prince breaking free from the system, is now caught between two identities: either a co-conspirator or a man completely out of his depth. And Meghan? Once the face of royal reform and racial progress, now facing a credibility collapse. The woman who accused the institution of hiding truths may have been hiding the biggest one of all. And DL? She's no longer in the shadows. She's gone from anonymous to headline material overnight. Some doubt her. Others call her brave. But one thing is clear: if her story is real, she didn't just carry children. She carried a secret one powerful enough to shake the British monarchy to its core. She says all she ever wanted was privacy, fairness, and to be left alone. But when that was stripped from her, when she was erased, she fought back. And that fight may have just changed everything. Because now, this isn't just about two kids. It's about power, control, and the stories people will protect at all costs. DL might be proven right, she might be proven wrong. But either way, the damage is done. The Sussex fairy tale is cracking. And the world, from fans to governments, wants one thing: the truth. If you're still watching, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe DL, or is this all too wild to be true? And don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. We've got more stories coming that you won't want to miss. This is Anna Talks, and we'll see you in the next one.